Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official Fight Pit Podcast, episode 8. This is our 8th episode. We're almost at 10. I think 10 deserves a celebration.
Yeah.
So, we will be doing something special for our 10th podcast. Just know that. It's going to be special, and it's already special. Episode 8 is special.
Very special.
Dude. Oh my god, it's so special.
You don't even
We have
know.
Raw,
So special, I
Smackdown,
don't even know.
AEW Dynamite, Rampage, the UFC Fight Night, and we have AEW Collision to cover, plus some other topics, including our stats. Our stats for WWE 2K22, 2K23, and UFC 4, because J-Dog and I have had this crazy, like, titanarary, crazy, yes, titans clashing, titanarary. That's a new word. Is that a word?
No.
That's gotta be a word. Titanarary.
Just
Or
say it's a
Titanic.
Titan clash of a matchup.
Titary. I don't care. Yeah, Titan clash between J-Dog and I for our stats. These PS4 Platinum trophies are coming my way, baby.
No, they're not.
Either way, my stats haven't changed
This
from
dude's
last
not
week.
even close.
No,
This dude's
I
not
am
even
very close, dude.
He's
okay.
not.
2K23 67%, 22 72%, 4 UFC 4 is a 90%. Those aren't bad. Yours may be better, but mine aren't bad at
Yeah.
all.
So for mine, I went up a little bit. Like, I think 4%. I went from a 75 to 81% on UFC 4.
Okay.
I got 2 trophies left. Let's go.
What are those trophies?
What
are those trophies that you have left?
The win the championship online in the online battles, and then what's the other one? The ultimate,
It's a Blitz battle.
the Blitz battle trophy.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
what
the
I've been
Platinum.
stuck on for 2 years, basically.
Anytime I've played the Blitz battle, I can't get past round 3. 2K23, I'm at 85%. And then 2K22, I am at... Oh, wait. Give me a second. Am I really at the same percentage? Bruh, that's funny. Oh, wait. No. 2K22, sorry. It glitched out a little bit. 2K23 is 92%. 2K22 is 85%. I haven't really been playing 2K22 or 2K23 because
Right.
I've been playing other games, but I might get back into...
UFC 4.
Yeah, I'm not trying to focus on 2K22. You get that almost matched up with 2K23.
Well, it doesn't matter, Jason, what you do, because in
I
the
know.
end, I am going to win.
No, you're not.
In the end,
Because I'm super close to getting another trophy in
Maniac
2K23.
Productions will win.
Sucks. No.
It will be
In
championship
the end,
holder.
Crazy Maniac Gaming sucks.
Crazy Maniac
That's what it is.
Productions. No, that's how it is.
No, it's not how it is.
He will eventually accept it, folks. So the first things we're covering today, Drew McIntyre, who has not been on WWE television for quite some time, is
Quite some
reportedly
time.
scheduled to come back by Money in the Bank, according to Jason.
It's not for sure. I believe it's the reports that are saying that.
Yeah.
I'll look at it real quick.
I mean, well, I would really hope he does come back at Money in the Bank. I don't know at what match he would come back, though. That's the only thing.
Seth versus Finn.
Seth versus Finn.
Have him turn heel and have a feud with Seth.
I would love that. I've wanted a good Drew McIntyre heel run.
A lot of people who've been saying that he's gonna return at Money in the Bank say that it would be good for him to go into a World Heavyweight Championship
He was drafted
run.
Raw, yeah.
it would be good for him to have a World Heavyweight Championship run because he hasn't had that world title run in front of fans, which I think would be really good for him. But he's been having a lot of creative issues is the reason why he's been out for so long. I
Right.
can't figure anything out. Uh,
Well,
yeah,
I'm
like there's multiple things that say like WWE trying to arrange Drew McIntyre's return for Money in the Bank, WWE planning Drew McIntyre's return for a major show. Yeah, so hopefully that's the case.
I would love to see that Drew McIntyre heel run. I mean, the championship run, like you said, would be amazing in front of fans, but his heel run, I don't think we've seen a lot of his singles heel run on the main roster.
No,
I mean,
I mean the main
obviously, like
singles.
his Intercontinental Championship reign in the early 2010s doesn't count. That was so long ago. I want this current version of Drew McIntyre heel run. I mean, I know he had it with Dolph Ziggler, but and
Yeah, that was.
he kind of had one. He was a single star, but he was teaming with Lashley and Corbin, and then he turned face, and in 2020 won the belt. So
Yeah,
he, I really would love to see a heel run by Drew McIntyre. But
it would
the
be
next
very
thing,
good for him.
next thing we're talking about is the Street Profits. The Street Profits, I seen this thing. Angelo Dawkins was saying that the fans really want them to split up, but he feels like they can do great on their own. I honestly feel like that's. I wanted them to split up during the draft, but they don't. I honestly don't think they do need to split up. I think it's just always that default thing when you have a team and you know one of them are like they are a star. I think it's just the
Yeah,
default thing, like have that Shawn Michaels kind of heel turn because it is the perfect setup for it. However,
right.
I mean these are one of their marquee teams. The
Yeah,
Street Profits feel like the
eh,
Usos or feel like the New Day.
right.
It's not like a.
Yeah,
It's not like they feel like Chad Gable and Otis who were randomly paired up and now they're doing good, but I mean they've been
yeah,
together since NXT and it's kind of hard to envision seeing them without each other.
yeah. Um, I think they would have been leading more to a split up or just like they go off on their own way without actually like having a heel turn or anything like that. If they would have had Montez qualify for Money in the Bank, and win it, I would see that as a possible split off. Like that would be a good time to do it. Which
Yeah.
I honestly think, even though the group we have for Money in the Bank is good, I think Montez Ford would have been perfect. I think he's a perfect candidate for next year
Yeah.
to be the Money in the Bank winner. I think he'll be a heavy favorite
I mean, I
next
was kind
year.
of surprised when LA Knight beat him in the qualifying match.
Well,
I wanted
you
both of
also
them,
got to
but
think, yeah, me too. But LA Knight's literally the most over star right now in WWE.
right. Yeah.
They're not gonna skip out on that.
Yeah.
They would be stupid to.
Yeah. But I love Montez.
I do
I
too.
did want to see him win. Well, okay, moving on from that, we have talks about Elias, who isn't over in Triple H's eyes. I like Elias. I don't know if I'm like the only fan of Elias, but I
I
do
like
like his drifter
Elias.
gimmick.
I don't like the way they book him
I don't think he
because they
needs.
make him look stupid in my opinion.
I don't think Elias needs a gimmick change or anything. I honestly think he
No.
is. He is good how he is, and I don't know who doesn't like Elias backstage, or whether it's legitimately he's just not giving ideas, or maybe the writers think he needs a gimmick change. I don't know, but
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, honestly, I would really like to see Elias and the Intercontinental Championship picture because he is a big dude, like just beefy. He could go against Gunther and have a like meat slapping match.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love them. I love them meat slapping matches. They're the best. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, sad. No plans for Elias. But J Dog brought up somebody to me that WWE has been looking at. Maybe they would have plans for him. I would hope so anyway if they were trying to get him. Hook.
Yeah. Yeah, I was watching Cultaholic I don't know if it was last week or just a couple days ago. But yeah, they said that WWE would have interest in Hook if not if when his contract were to expire. And they're apparently Taz is all for it. He's all for him getting used to different companies and getting adjusted to different things.
Right.
So Taz is like, yeah, go ahead. Like, if you were want to go, Taz would be all in on it. I was like, huh.
I would love to
Would
see.
not.
I would love to
I'd
see.
love to see
current
Hook versus Matt Riddle. That would be a good. I think that would be a really good match.
I would love to see current Hook in WWE, but I feel like if, like, just due to his stature and everything, just like Taz had that happen to him earlier in his when he came to WWE. I
Yeah.
feel like Hook would probably. I mean, it's different with Triple H now, but
If it was under Vince regime, he probably wouldn't last.
right, and reportedly Vince McMahon is still kind of involved, so I'm not sure.
Not really. Not really.
Yeah, I don't know.
He is, but he's not. He's only heavily involved if he's like near the area where that show's gonna be. Other than that, it's just virtually. Like he's monitoring it virtually. Is what I've been hearing.
I honestly think that the people in WWE are just overall kind of bigger stature in general, so Hook throwing around those people wouldn't be as good maybe in WWE. Like, I know he's thrown around some big people in AEW, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's more common to see smaller stature people in AEW than WWE. And I don't think you're going to see Hook throwing around Otis or Omos or even Gunther. Maybe Gunther.
No.
Then again, I don't know who can throw around Otis other than like Brock Lesnar. Probably Cesaro.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. It'd be cool. Maybe. Alright, so moving on to Monday Night Raw. This is the segment where we are doing WWE stuff. There's not a lot of MMA today. There's one fight we're going to cover. But we're doing WWE stuff first. Wrestling stuff first. You know, the really good shit. So, this Monday Night Raw, it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
I really liked the setup of it. The first thing that started off the show was Adam Pearce presenting the new Raw Women's Championship, I guess, to Rhea Ripley.
It's not the Raw Women's Championship.
Then what
it's
is it?
It's the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship.
What's the
It's the Women's
Smackdown
World
one?
Championship. Women's World Championship, and then it's stupid. So the Raw one is the WWE Women's World Championship, and the SmackDown one is just the WWE Women's Championship. It's stupid. Essentially, they presented Rhea with the title, and it's the World Heavyweight Championship, but with a white strap.
And they did that shit last week with Asuka. So,
But I do have to admit, the Women's World Heavyweight Championship looks a lot better than the one they gave Asuka. A lot better. It actually looks nice compared to the one that they made for Asuka.
right. Honestly, my problem isn't the belt. The belt looks amazing. The
It's the
championship design
creativity.
is amazing for both Asuka and Rhea's. It's just the fact that when you're going to get a new championship, you're not wanting the same thing. because
Right.
it's the same exact thing for the men's championships.
Right.
I was expecting a new design. I was expecting,
Something cool.
something awesome, something like that surprises me. This just
Like I was about to be like, oh, ooh, they're gonna
gave
come
me
up with
false
a very
hope.
unique design, and then they just pull it up, and it's the WWE Championship with gold. Same thing with the Roman. It's the exact same thing. I was like, oh, here we go. We're about to get a nice looking gold belt, and it's really just the
So
WWE Championship with the gold plating. I'm like,
so far, the four belts we've gotten,
uh,
the Seth Rollins championship, it was mid. Uh, Roman's was
it was
just the
okay.
same thing.
It was
Uh,
trash.
Asuka's was even worse than Roman's, and Rhea's was
Probably the best
worse
out
than
of the four.
Asuka's. I mean, worse than Asuka's
What?
just because there's no
No.
creativity. It sucks because I had the false hope when
They
I
all
was about to
suck
watch the Asuka
creativity
one.
wise, but I would say, like, look wise, it's the best out of the four. It looks the best. But creativity wise, they all suck.
Uh,
I think it looks better. Well, I would say second best. It looks better than the women's that Asuka got, and then it looks better than Roman's, in my opinion.
Honestly, I don't like any of them. Just
I don't like
come
any of
out
them
with new
either, but
belts. I'm just telling
yeah.
Triple H directly. Just redo it.
I also saw something. I think it was on Facebook, like when they were talking about introducing new titles that he wanted to promote creativity. I'm like, bruh, the fix the
Well,
belts.
mission failed. Try
Exactly.
again.
And
Anyway,
with the women's tag titles being unified, I think this Friday, I think they're having a unification match, or it might be on Raw. I don't remember. Um, Hopefully, if they do a redesign of the women tag belts, hopefully it's better than what they've done. But I don't know if they will. I think if they do that, they're just gonna toss out the NXT tag titles,
I imagine
which is
they would.
stupid.
I imagine they would come up with a new design just because they are in this habit of doing it now. But if it's
Yeah,
trash,
hopefully they
then
do.
I mean, so far this entire championship redesign,
Redesign period.
other than Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins was actually new, it just
Right.
wasn't as good as people may have expected.
Yeah.
At least for me. Maybe I was just expecting too much.
Everybody was expecting them to literally bring back Big Gold.
Yeah, that would have been. I think that would have
That
been better
that
than
would
what
have been
happened.
better. I would have loved that. That would have been great. But
I was
I
kind of
didn't.
expecting
I
them to do
was
it for Roman.
no.
I mean, I didn't think so because the
I
World Championship.
expected them to do something like they did, but I was expecting a little more creativity.
Yeah,
Like there was big rumors that they were gonna go with a gold belt, and I'm like, okay, if they can do it right, then fine. But of course, they had to go and mess it up.
yeah.
They need to hire fans to do their designs, because some of the designs that fans do on the
Dude.
community creations on 2K are crazy,
Dude,
crazy good.
I have better championship designs when I was like playing 2K19 when I was 15. Like these, it's weird.
Like it's not
Anyway,
hard. Like all you have to do is make your own design, write it out, send it to the person who makes your title, and have it be something different.
I like to
But no.
imagine. I like to imagine that the the people that are making the design are doing it off of WWE 2K games. They're making the design first.
That would be great. Like, that would be funny if that was the case. I would just love to see the process of how they come up with these designs.
Right. Anyway, we had Adam Pearce presenting the new championship to Rhea, like we said, and then Cody Rhodes interrupted. Obviously, she had Dom by her side, her little Dom.
Dum dum.
And Cody first praises Rhea, says she's the champion, she's good, she's
She
everything that
deserves it.
everybody says. Yeah, she deserves it, she's earned it. Uh, so he started off with that, and then I did like one thing he did. He specifically emphasized The Miz because The Miz told him last week after he called him Mike that it's not Mike, it's the Miz. First name the, last name Miz. I thought that
I
was pretty
love
funny.
Miz.
There was a recap
Miz
of the
is
Smack by
something else.
Dom. Yeah, he is pretty funny. There was the recap of the Smack that Dom did on Cody
You
last
could
week.
hear, you could literally hear the impact of the smack
Yeah.
when they replayed it. I was like,
Uh, so Cody challenged Dominic at Money in the Bank, which was, it's kind of surprising that they're doing this. First, because Cody still has that kayfabe broken arm, and the fact that he's in a rivalry with Brock Lesnar, so it's a little weird, but
well,
cool
what people
still.
are saying they think is going to happen is that this is just to build more heat for Dom, and that Brock Lesnar is going to come out and attack Cody after the match, or is going to cost Cody the match.
Yeah, I would imagine that. That would definitely get a lot of heat on
And
Dom.
then you use Brock to get more heat on Dom, and you
Yeah.
get more heat on Brock. You kill two birds with one stone.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Hey, we're already booking it.
Let's go.
Hopefully Triple H will do something a
Book it
little
for
bit more.
SummerSlam, Triple H. Book it.
SummerSlam. You mean Lesnar versus
No,
Cody?
book it for Money in the Bank, and then book Lesnar versus Cody for SummerSlam is what I meant.
There was
Sorry,
there
I
was
got too ahead of
excellent.
myself.
Yeah, there was excellent crowd work by Cody. Just
Always,
they're
always.
saying Dom sucks, and he's like, wait, what? What'd you say?
Wait, I didn't quite hear him. Can you say that again? Dom sucks. Dom sucks. Dom's just getting irritated.
The Miz came out to attack Cody from behind, and Cody watched out for the attack, and then, well, yeah, Miz attacked him. He fought him off, and then Cody looked behind Dom, trying to see if or looked behind him, trying to see if Dom would attack, and then he turned back around to the Miz, and then Dom did attack him from behind.
And then
Uh,
ran away.
and that set up
Again.
into Cody Rhodes versus the Miz. I really liked the setup of this episode because you had the championship presentation first of all.
Right away, yeah. Like, no, like, intro or anything, which I love that they're not doing it. And as much as I like the intros, I love that they're, like, not doing the intro initially, and they're just going right into it. Like, they
Yeah.
did that, I think they did that one time on a Raw when Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins were feuding, and it just transitioned right into a brawl. And I was like, that's awesome that
Yeah.
they would do it. It was very ruthless aggression-esque. Same thing with when Brock attacked Seth, except that wasn't like right away. I mean, it was right away, but like it wasn't as soon as they opened into it they attacked him. But yeah,
Well, I liked this presentation because it had Rhea coming out with Dom, and then Cody,
right.
seeing Dom out there, I was like, okay, I'll come out. And then Cody versus The Miz is next, so all you have to do is have The Miz come out, and then Dom and Rhea can leave, and then you have the match. It's a really cool setup. It
And
all
just
makes
quick
sense. It's like
transitions.
perfect
Yeah.
puzzle pieces, is what Triple H is doing. It's really cool. There was no acknowledgement of the broken arm. One thing I noticed during
Nope.
this match, there wasn't an
Nope.
acknowledgement, so it's kind of,
It's kayfabe. They're throwing out the fact that it's kayfabe without saying it's kayfabe.
I mean, it's weird because
It
obviously
is
you have
weird.
him have a broken arm. He should be selling it, and I'm not looking at the bigger
The
parts. Say he gets hit and
right.
then he's like, "Oh, that hurts." No, I'm talking about like when he's peaked up on both hands for the cover,
Mm-hmm.
and he's not having any. Yeah, I don't
Issues.
know. Maybe it's nitpicking on my
The
part, but
only the
still.
only time I even see him sell it is during his entrance when he does the wow, because he'll only do it with one arm instead of two.
Right. Yeah. Well, either way, it was a good match. I wish he would have sold the arm more, just because. I mean, Brock Lesnar just broke it, and now it
Broke
just
it.
doesn't hurt. Yeah, it's weird. But still a good match. Obviously, Cody Rhodes, one of the best right now
Yeah,
in WWE, and then you have The Miz, who's just reliable. as hell.
Always.
They always have
Yeah.
great matches. And yeah,
First
Cody
ballot
wins.
Hall of
It was pretty
Famer for
cool.
sure.
Yeah.
In my opinion, he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer with everything he's done.
Well, I'll tell you what. There's one faction I think could go into the Hall of Fame, and it's Judgment Day.
Mm.
I could see
I mean,
that.
yeah, they need more
They need a
time,
little
but
bit longer, but yeah.
I don't think they're gonna last though.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and there's
I
signs of
don't think they're
this
gonna
in their
last.
promo. Judgment Day had a promo next, and Finn Balor seemed really down. He just wasn't really talking. He wasn't hyping up like he usually does. He's usually that
Yeah.
charismatic guy. He was just kind of staring off somewhere. And Rhea asked if he was fine, which I thought was pretty cool. Actually, I think since Triple H has taken over, they've been acting like actual people instead of like these lines that you have to
Characters.
read.
Yeah.
It feels legitimate. He says he's fine, but he has a lot on his mind. And then Priest having his match later with Riddle, he wants to go out alone. It was set up last week with the Seth Rollins match that he wanted to
Yeah.
go out by himself, and then Finn Balor did come out anyway, and Priest lost,
Got mad at
and he was
Finn.
very disappointed in Finn Balor. So
He literally looked out at him and he said, "Why are you out here?" I was like, "That's the first time." Like what you were saying, how they're like acting like actual people. It's like they're supposed to be heels, and that's the first time you like there was no emotion in his. I guess there was emotion in his voice, but he wasn't. He didn't sound like a heel. He just sounded genuine. He was just,
yeah,
"Why are you out here? I told you not to come out during my match. Why are you out here?"
yeah, it's sowing seeds of just, oh god, they're about to split up. Finn Balor is about to get beat up by Damian Priest, and that's what I want to happen. I love the
Priest
Judgment
versus
Day.
Balor.
I love the Judgment Day. I was originally saying doing it at SummerSlam, but I would not like to see that at SummerSlam because I want them to have a longer amount of time.
Right.
I mean, maybe WrestleMania because I would like them to tease it now. Tease it some more at SummerSlam, maybe whatever matches they have. Survivor Series, War Games. They could do
I
some
think,
War Games. I don't know.
yeah, I was about to say Survivor Series might be a good time to do it, or even like one of their later pay-per-views. I'm trying to think what is June, July, August. They could do it like I know they're bringing back a pay-per-view. That's another thing that we could have talked about is they're going to be bringing back Payback in September.
Ooh,
They are I
I
forget
like
what
Payback.
day, but either Payback or Extreme Rules in October. I think Payback would be a good time to do it. It's only a couple months out. It'd be the pay-per-view right after SummerSlam,
Yeah, but I
and
want
you
them to have more
could
time than that.
yeah, you could honestly you could wait until WrestleMania season.
Right.
You could wait until WrestleMania season and have it be a WrestleMania match. Even like if somebody takes the World Heavyweight Championship, like if say Priest wins the Money in the Bank, cashes in on Seth, you could have a World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania, Finn versus Priest,
Yeah.
and it would be a huge match.
I was originally saying that I want them to do the match at SummerSlam, but
I think they
definitely
need more
WrestleMania
time.
seems
I
a
agree with you.
lot. WrestleMania seems a lot better.
For sure. For
Next we
sure.
did have the Riddle versus Priest match, and this was a really good match. These two were hilarious with their selling. Priest is just hilarious with his selling in general, but Riddle just like, I mean, mouth
There's
wide
something
open,
else.
screaming when he gets like slammed or something.
Yeah.
It's it's really funny. There was a great spot where Damien slammed Riddle while he was on his back, and Riddle came back up and just started the choke. He had him in a rear naked choke while on his back. The slam happened. Priest was up on
And
his butt, and then
he just
Riddle's just laying on his back, comes back up. Yeah, I love that spot. Uh, and there was a headlock driver with Riddle's feet on the top rope. I've noticed Priest has been doing this recently. That Dean Ambrose Dirty Deeds, the original version, and
Mhm.
it it looks it looks really devastating when he does it. It's a really good move.
Yeah.
I like that, and he put Riddle's feet on the top rope, kind of like the Randy Orton DDT, but it's on the
Yeah.
top rope. It was really good, and I was kind of surprised that Riddle kicked out because it looked really, really big. And there was one moment where Priest teased the Razor's Edge from the top rope, but instead there was a fisherman's superplex from the top rope
That
by
was
Riddle.
awesome. I love that. That was a good spot.
The ending to this match, which this is a Money in the Bank qualifying match, by the way, just to get that out of the way. Damian Priest, he ends up winning, and I loved how he ended up winning because they were very equal. They had a lot of
Oh yeah.
offense against each other. You know, this match could have gone either way. Plus, Riddle is a top star. Priest,
Yeah.
Riddle basically went to the middle rope for a springboard, and Priest snatched him up and caught him with the Razor's Edge. And I just thought that was a great spot. I mean, he was going for an offense move, and just all of a sudden he snatched up. It was
Yeah.
awesome. And Gunther came down, and there was a little face-off between Priest and Gunther. You realize when Priest tells him to go pick up the
Like,
bones that they're on the same side, but still, that is going to be
yeah.
a good match if that ever happens. Gunther versus Priest for the championship.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That'd be a really good match for sure.
And Priest, he tells them to go pick up the bones, and that's exactly what Imperium does. Giovanni Vinci, is he out with an injury or something?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Matt
Yeah.
Riddle broke his ankle.
Mm.
Put him in an ankle lock and messed up his
Is
ankle.
that kayfabe?
Kayfabe. Yeah. I
Okay,
believe it's kayfabe.
maybe.
Yeah, because they did it backstage. I doubt that it would be real if they did it backstage.
Right.
Like he put him in a nice ankle lock. So
Or maybe
I
his ankle
think they
is
said it was
actually
a broken ankle.
broken, and they just, I don't know.
Possibly. I mean, if it he might. Usually with kayfabe injuries, sometimes they'll give
Cover
them
up
a
real
kayfabe
injuries.
injury to cover up a real injury. So he might actually have an injury, and they're just covering it up.
Right. Like
It depends.
You had Riddle's hiatus because of drug usage, and they just said
Yeah,
Solo Sikoa
rehab.
wrecked him, which Solo
Yeah.
Sikoa did wreck him, but not as bad as maybe they would have said. Anyway, that's
Right.
not the point. Riddle got beat up by Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, and it was refreshing that nobody came out to help Riddle. It was just a
Right.
straight up fucking alley
Like we didn't.
gang beatdown, and then they
Like
leave.
we're not going back to that storyline of uh where Sammy and Kevin would save Riddle and that they're together on it. Which I mean that storyline's already over. So I mean there's no sense in
Right.
that continuing, but yeah, it's a
Uh,
good thing.
Cody Rhodes had an interview after this. I didn't really catch it. I'm sure it was just about Dominic Mysterio's little bitch and Brock Lesnar. I'm coming for you, bitch.
I don't remember what
Yeah, I
the
don't really
interview was
remember it.
about.
But I'm sure Cody had a great promo. Natalia had an interview next where she basically said after that loss, she doesn't really feel like herself, and not really, she's not sure what to do, and she basically leaves. And I really like that. It's actually giving Natalia something meaningful to do, and it only took up 10 seconds of the entire card. You're actually putting her on the. Maybe she'll get some time off as well, which is always a plus side for wrestlers, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And when she comes back, hopefully she can have a good comeback. Uh, or she'll just continue doing this weekly, where she still comes to work because she loves it, but I mean, she did get beat up by the women's champion at a pay-per-view in under 2 minutes. I think it was under 2 minutes.
I don't
Definitely
know.
under 5.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, after she left, Byron Saxton just went over to Sammy and Kevin, started interviewing them, and then Gunther and Kaiser interrupted. And Gunther and Kaiser challenged the champions to a championship match. They were going to have a tag match later anyway. And yeah,
Yeah.
Sammy and Kevin, they won it. And Adam Pearce, he makes the title match official. And that will be the main event. This was a very good match. I do remember that.
hmm It was a really
Exciting.
good match, yeah.
There was another recap of the Bloodline story, which happens every week, probably 2 or 3 times a week, each show.
Yeah.
Uh, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad thing, but they do it a lot. Kind of gets a little annoying. Uh, Finn Balor, he comes out next, and this is something I am. They hinted at it last week with Damian Priest versus Seth, and then Seth Rollins pointing at Balor's shoulder. I'm excited to see this because this has been 7 years in the making. Finn Balor
Yeah.
calls out Seth Rollins, and yes, it's Balor versus Rollins made official for Money in the Bank for the championship. 7 years in the making.
It's gonna be definitely gonna be a great match.
Balor's really funny. He was trying to say whatever he had to say to Seth Rollins, and the crowd was just singing Rollins' song for like 2 minutes, and Balor was just he kept following it. It's not like he told them to shut up, like legitimately, and gets pissed and shit. No, he was just like being a weasel. He fits that role perfectly. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, but Balor is like, this is very important. Balor's been
I
waiting
got to tell
for
you something.
he's been waiting for 7 years, and he challenged Rollins to the match at Money in the Bank, and Balor says he will take, just like Rollins took his momentum title and a year out of his career, he will take his momentum, his title, and a year out of Seth Rollins' career, which is just a good line in general. It's this this already has a great story. Rollins, his mind games are so good. He said, "Are you gonna come
Yeah.
as that dude who beat me with an arm hanging off his body, or that dude that's been nothing but a little bitch for the past 7 years?"
Dang.
Oh, and Seth
Probably one of
Rollins
the
mic
best.
drop. Seth Rollins mic drop. I'm excited for this match.
Yeah.
Balor versus Rollins, the rematch from SummerSlam 2016. Oh yeah. I'm sure I know they had the WrestleMania 34 match for the Intercontinental Championship against. It was a triple threat with The Miz, but I don't think they've had a legitimate, at least for a World Championship match against each other
I don't think so either.
since 2016. But either way, this is going to be a good match. And there was Iron Sheik tribute. That's, you know, rest in peace.
Yeah.
That's basically all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to stay on that for too long. And next there was Rhea Ripley hype. And this, obviously, you have Rhea coming out every week. She's a star. But having hype package promos about her still, it's just so, it's so cool. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was a good package promo. I did like the actual hype behind her. Just building her as this like kind of demonic woman who is in control of everybody she goes around. She is a fucking menace to society. She can murder you with one arm tied behind her back.
Even before she was a part of the Judgment Day, she was a menace to society.
Yeah, and now it's just so much better. Anyway, this next thing was fucking amazing. Finn Balor was seen talking to Jordan Devlin, and the thing that makes it amazing is, yeah, we know that Jordan Devlin was trained by Finn Balor. It's very cool. I just love seeing that they're actual people. Like Finn Balor, yeah, he's with the Judgment Day. Yeah, Finn Balor's in a rivalry with Seth Rollins, but he still has like he's still a former trainer of some of these wrestlers. He's still got a different life behind this, behind what he's doing at his job. It's just really cool, and especially with the background Jordan Devlin was seen talking to Balor. Yeah, it was very cool. And after that, Damian Priest he comes in and he basically tells Finn Balor to end this because he doesn't want to have all this animosity between them. So I think that was
Yeah.
really cool. Did you see the Worlds Collide Finn Balor versus Jordan Devlin?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that was 2019 if I'm not mistaken. Right around the peak of Jordan Devlin being in
I bet that
NXT.
was a really good match, for sure.
Yeah, it was really good. Uh, yeah, I love that continuity with Balor and Jordan Devlin. And
Yeah.
honestly, it's kind of like a good little reminder that he was trained and a tease for Jordan Devlin to possibly be in Judgment Day. Because
Yeah.
I feel like he would fit perfectly well putting on some black and purple. He
Oh
would look
yeah.
really
Oh
good.
yeah.
He would fit the style perfectly. He could just act like the kind of butch, a butch esque,
Oh yeah.
just explosive. Because you already have Finn Balor, who's kind of the leader, Dominic, who's like the laid back, coward of the group, Rhea, who's the dommy mommy, Priest, who's this tall dude, and then you have Jordan Devlin, who is just willing to pounce on anybody at any time.
Yeah.
That would be a good dynamic. I would love that. Love to see Devlin in there. And next you had the main event, dude. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser, tag team
It was a
championship
crazy
match.
match.
There was a great exchange by Gunther and Owens. Whenever Gunther and Owens are in the ring, you know it's going to be exciting. You know it's going to be hard hitting. You know there's going to get some. There's going to be some bruises, some welts on the chest, on the legs, everywhere.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, they had a really nice exchange, just back and forth, back and forth. Uh, I know Gunther hit Sami Zayn with two huge lariats,
Yeah.
and Sami Zayn kicked out, which I was surprised by. Just, and obviously you are, if you've watched a Gunther match, you know his lariats are going to be hard hitting. So just
Oh
imagine
yeah.
two on Sami Zayn. Matt Riddle comes out and he gets kicked by Gunther, and then Owens attacks Gunther, and that distracts Kaiser. It was Kaiser and Sammy in the ring. Kaiser's looking out at the distraction by Riddle, and then that leads to Sami Zayn getting a victory over Kaiser and retaining the tag team championships. So that's
Yeah.
obviously best choice, not having Gunther get pinned. Zayn and Owens still champions. Yeah, it's really cool. And now we have the segment where you get your shit in, kid, because these are the things that I was not able to watch on Hulu. Because I watch it on Hulu, they cut out an hour of it because it's a 3 hour program. They only
Yeah.
put in an hour and a half. So, get your shit in, kid, is matches that were not on the Hulu
There's
show.
there was three three segments. There
There was
was
4.
was it four?
It was
Oh
Becky Lynch
yeah,
versus
Becky
Chelsea
Lynch
Green,
is Chelsea Green.
Ricochet
Yeah.
and Bronson, Baszler and
And
Raquel, and Chad Gable and Eric.
okay, then there was 5 segments then. There was one small segment and then four
What
matches.
was the
Indus was just offering
uh
Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin an actual match.
damn, why did they cut that shit out? I would love to see this undercard shit as well. I mean, Ricochet versus Bronson Reed and Shinsuke interferes. I love that those three are still getting put in the spotlight, and they are like the heart and soul of the undercard
Yeah,
and the
and you
mid
had
card.
Ricochet. You had Ricochet get mad at Shinsuke because he interfered.
Yeah, Dude, I would really love to see Shinsuke in the role that Asuka's in right now.
Oh yeah,
Because he's capable of doing a good heel run.
yeah,
Maybe not championship right now. Maybe beat Gunther. I could realistically see him being a dude to beat Gunther.
yeah, for sure.
That being said, also now that we're talking, I would love to see Jordan Devlin versus Gunther.
Ooh,
That would be a good match, and I could realistically see Devlin getting a victory. I don't think he would, but I could see it.
yeah, I definitely think it would be possible.
So yeah, you had Becky Lynch versus Chelsea Green, which that's just a follow up on last week. Becky Lynch taking on Sonya Deville, and Chelsea's Sonya's partner, so it makes sense. I'm sure you had something with Trish and Zoe Stark.
Yeah,
Becky and this Becky and Trish feud is really good, and I love to see that Becky's getting some matches with Sonya, who's she's kind of an up and comer now, and Chelsea is obviously an up and comer. I mean, as in like about to break that glass ceiling, possibly. All
yeah,
of these people
definitely.
are Baszler and Raquel. Also, Baszler wins, which is kind of surprising.
Yeah, I think so as well.
And then you have Chad Gable versus Eric, and Chad Gable wins. And obviously, I first of all, I'm really happy to see Alpha Academy versus Viking Raiders. That is one like good tag team match that I could see like main eventing a card.
Yeah,
Obviously, I
for
know it's just
sure.
going to be an undercard match, but and maybe on the pay-per-view at some point, maybe Money in the Bank, I'm not sure, but maybe on the undercard, I don't know, pre-show. But either way, having Chad Gable get a singles victory is always a plus in my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, so that's it for Monday Night Raw. It was a really good Monday Night Raw. I mean, they pretty much all are nowadays. I mean, there's so much good wrestling. AEW, WWE, Independence, everything's just been pretty good. Monday Night Raw and
Yeah,
SmackDown in particular have been great for the past like 6 months. Maybe have some downfalls here and then, whatever, but still. And that does not change with SmackDown at all. It starts with a recap of the Bloodline story immediately. You have Jimmy and Jey Uso. Obviously, Jimmy's out. Is Jey Uso going to still be in the Bloodline? And that does officially get answered tonight.
yeah.
Uh, but before that gets answered, the first match on this show was the Gauntlet match. So here's the first thing I want to say about this Gauntlet match. It was a good match. I wish it had taken up like an hour of the show. Because if it doesn't, it doesn't feel like a big deal. Because yeah,
Yeah,
you had Ridge Holland and Sheamus go. They ran the entire gauntlet until they got to Pretty Deadly. It was a very good like come up match, but imagine if they have been working for an hour.
yeah,
Like obviously, I'm referring to the Kofi Kingston and the New Day type of gauntlet matches. That's the best gauntlet match, and they don't have many gauntlet matches anymore. Why not go an hour? Why not take up possibly over half your show for these gauntlet matches? Because it is. I mean, you had 6 teams.
yeah,
They started off with Street Profits versus the Brawling Brutes. Do you get what I'm saying, though? Like,
yeah, yeah. I get it. I get it. It makes sense, but I can see why they didn't. Like, I can see
yeah,
the little things here and there why they didn't.
right. They started with Street Profits taking on the Brawling Brutes. I would love to. Seeing Ridge Holland in this match, I would love to see him have a heel run. I could
Oh yeah,
realistically see him. Like, I really feel like he's getting in his element now. He's been around Sheamus, who's been his mentor, obviously Butch as well, but I think Pete Dunne could have done well on his own on the main roster. Ridge Holland obviously needed some work, and and it seems like he's really getting into his element with Sheamus. He looks like, obviously, because he's a big dude, obviously he's foreign, so that's a good heel gimmick right away. I mean, look at Gunther.
Right.
Uh, but he is just this dude who's willing to fight Billy Club in hand kind of guy. Yeah, he is. I would love to see him in a heel run. I feel like he could turn on Sheamus and have a good uh, little rivalry against Sheamus.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the split that you have with the Brawling Brutes. Ridge Holland gets tired of being Sheamus's running buddy. He wants to go on his own, but Sheamus won't let him because Sheamus also wants the Intercontinental, maybe World Heavyweight Championships. So
Yeah.
Ridge splits up with him, and then Butch is like, well, these are both my friends. I'm kind of split. I'm not going to talk to either of them. And then Butch goes away or something like that. I would love to see that, and I would love to see Butch have a good heel run.
Yeah.
It was an upset in my opinion that the Brutes won though, because Street Profits, like I was saying, they are that marquee tag team. I'm surprised they got beat in less than 10 minutes. I mean, I get it because it's the gauntlet match, but this is why I was saying they need an hour for a gauntlet match because these matches just end up being like 5 minutes or less. Especially in this match, or yeah, especially
Oh
in this
yeah.
gauntlet match, because you had the Brutes beat the Street Profits in less than 10 minutes. There was a great setup for the Brogue Kick because you had Sheamus tag in Butch, or not Butch, sorry, Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland Irish whip to Angelo Dawkins into the ropes. He jumped over like for a leapfrog basically on a Ridge. Angelo jumped over and then got caught with the Brogue Kick. That was pretty good. Uh,
Yeah.
and there was something that I was kind of a little surprised by. The Good Brothers, they're in next. They immediately attack. And basically everybody did in this match. It's strategy, whatever. It's kind of a heel thing to do. The Good Brothers, throughout this match, you realize they are heel. I mean, maybe it was obvious to everybody else, but I thought they were babyface. You know what I mean? Because they have AJ and Michin right by their side. The OC, I thought it was a babyface faction, so uh, I guess it's cool. The Good Brothers are heel and AJ and Michin are face. What do you think about that?
I was kind of in between on it. Like, I like the idea of it, but um with Michin and AJ being faces and them being heels, I guess it depends on how they roll with things. If they, I feel like they're gonna go like kind of separate. If you get what I mean.
That
Like,
AJ and Michin are going to be their own tag team, and the Good Brothers are going to be their own tag team.
not necessarily that Michin and AJ are gonna be their own tag team, but they're just gonna be on their own. And then
And then they'll
that's
have like
that's
they still have those little reunion promos backstage, even though on
yeah.
screen they, in the ring, yeah, they are a faction. They're still having their own little segments, like Michin and AJ had their own segment, and Good Brothers had their own segment.
Yeah.
They still have
I
those
mean,
little
I
promos backstage, like congratulating each other, though.
yeah. I mean, I'm fine with it being that way because they need more heel tag teams. But it just like in the end with how it is with AJ and Michin, it'll depend on how it ends up working out between everybody.
I thought it was weird, but at the same time, I liked it.
Yeah,
The ending of this match was surprising because obviously you have
definitely.
one of the best tag teams in WWE. They've been in New Japan. Like, it's not even just some saying. They've been around the world. Uh, it doesn't really psychologically make sense. But Anderson, he went in the corner and taunted, and then he turned around and Sheamus hit him with a brogue kick and they win. uh, Anderson has been wrestling for like 20 years. I don't think he would do that. So I think it's nitpicking, but still, you get what I'm saying? It's weird that
Yeah.
Anderson and Gallows would lose like that. And once again, under 10 minutes. The LWO were in next, and they attacked immediately. There was high flying everywhere. Both hit a on Sheamus and Ridge hit a tope con hero, I guess. Ridge destroys Del Toro with some kind of lifting, spinning DDT.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
He
It was cool,
destroyed
but
him. I know Wade Barrett said this is something that Ridge has been working on, but I think Michael Cole interrupted him and didn't let him say the name of the move. But either way, it was a great move, and Ridge destroys Del Toro with it and gets the win. And then immediately hit row attack, brogue kick, and I loved what Michael Cole said, which I'm just going to call Top Dollar, Flop Dollar from now on. Brogue kick to Flop Dollar, immediately they're eliminated. That was the right decision. Hit Row are getting buried week in, week out. They are not going to be in WWE much longer. That's all I'm going to say.
yeah, they're saying that Top Dollar specifically. I said Top Dollar. Top Dollar was going to be specifically be the one buried. They do not like Hit Row. I'm surprised they haven't released him.
I'm surprised they brought him back.
I'm surprised they brought him back too.
I mean, because Swerve Strickland was the only thing carrying him.
Yeah.
If you can't get Swerve, you shouldn't get Hit Row.
Unless you mold Carmelo Hayes to be the next Swerve Strickland. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, up and next were the Yes Boys.
Yes, boys.
One thing I noticed during this entire gauntlet match is they're really getting, specifically Wade Barrett, is really getting Ridge the Fridge over. And instead of calling him Ridge Holland during the match, both Michael and Wade were calling him Ridge the Fridge, which is a good nickname for him because he literally looks like he's built like a fridge. He's just a big dude with big meat on his body.
Sure.
Yeah, Yes Boys, pretty deadly, and I thought it was a good match. It was a little bit longer than the other matches, which is a good thing. But like I said, I wish it would have took up an hour of the show, the entire gauntlet match. There was a double stacked 32 beats of the Ballard, or I don't know what they call it. It was on Elton and what's his name? There's Elton Prince and do you remember his name?
Elton Prince and Kit Wilson.
Yes, Kit Wilson. They were stacked up, 32 beats of the Ballard. And yeah, there was a pretty good spot where Sheamus, he had Kit Wilson destroyed him. I don't remember what he hit him with, but he was probably about to win. And Elton Prince, but he got the tag before he did that move on Kit Wilson and hit a leg drop from the top rope on the back of Sheamus's neck, and they won, which was great. Yeah. Just puts heat on them because even though it wasn't an hour-long match, Sheamus and Ridge still ran the gauntlet. Up in it, we tryna get higher.
Put it back, I cooking and rack me, eating that pack of on a stopper, holding it down, pull up in the primary rip, the trust stop faking the cap. Yeah, killing the trapper, coming back, I'll break new loose, keep up in the track, I'm feeling the beat, you burning, healing, marking it, tie beam, baking me scream. Don't clap in the sea, air track and pee, I'm master love, but feet deep, I'm switching my game, take pass and see, even with my shot, no line to see.